All right, good people of Cherokee County, what's going on? Big Matt and Diamond Dean's in the house. Hope everybody's doing all right and having a great evening. Here we are. What's up, Dean?
What's up? You have a good day?
Yeah, man, just hanging out and washing clothes and getting ready to start the old work week out again. You know, that's what we do, man.
I hate to start the show off with bad news, but me and Brian Knapp and Torrey McDaniel and Shane Dobb were all at Chattooga, and a boy we coached up there lost his life Friday in a car wreck. So prayers for the family of Jack McCutcheons. Jack was a good player at Chattooga, 3-year starter, played DB, intercepted. I think he said he had 12 career interceptions.
McCutcheons, okay.
Jack McCutcheons. Yeah, had a car wreck up on going towards Lafayette and lost his life. 31 years old. So anytime you lose somebody like that, you know that's tough.
Absolutely,
you know?
Yeah.
So hearts at that family. But besides that, how's everything been going?
Just another day in paradise, man. Just living a dream. Talked to a few coaches today. Spoke on and off with Coach Heath up at Sandrock and get some stuff together. And put him on the show. That's Brian Knapp calling in, by the way.
Brian Knapp, you're on the show.
You're live.
You're on the show.
We're doing the show live right now.
You're live. Brian Knapp called in, people. How you doing, Coach Knapp?
Hey, man.
Oh.
What's up?
We needed to talk to you anyway. Now, this worked out perfect.
All right.
How many seniors do you have?
We're going to have 5 seniors.
5 seniors. Okay, and who are they? We won't keep you long.
Okay.
This was not on design, people. Go ahead.
Let's see. Michael Reynolds, Xander Watts.
Xander Watts.
Hunter Penny.
Okay.
I'm drawing a blank now. Jacob Gordon.
Okay. Keelan.
No, Keelan's going to be a junior.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. And Briley, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You put me on the spot here.
Well,
That's
I'll
okay.
be 43 in August, and my mind is not as good as it used to be.
No, we got you, Coach. We were just we're going to recognize some top players in the county tonight, and you didn't have to name the players. We just wanted the number of seniors you had. Now, the 3 we're going to highlight for you are, of course, Michael Reynolds and Keelan and Briley Mitchell. Now, Briley started for, 4 years?
Well, Briley has started
3.
When I got there when Briley was a 9th grader, and he actually got in some as a 7th grader when Coach Garner was a coach. So, I mean, he started at least a little bit until the 7th grade.
Okay, all right. And, of course, Michael Reynolds, he was your leading tackler. Is that right?
Yeah, and he'll be a 3-year starter or 3.5-year starter, because I think when he was a freshman, he had to play in some games as a starter too, so he's got a lot of experience.
So how you been doing today?
Good. I've been laying pine straw. I'm exhausted.
Played any golf lately?
Yeah. I played the other day. I had a good round going, but you talk too much. So
oh yeah. Coach Knapp's a very good golfer.
Is he?
Very good.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, he is. Got a good short game. Putting.
I appreciate that.
Well, Coach, we didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Y'all were good.
You called about the time we got the show kicked off, and he's like, "Put him on."
I said, "Just put him on live, man. Let's talk to him."
Good deal.
Well, let me ask you a couple more questions, and I'll let you go. When's y'all's official first day of practice?
We'll start that. Whatever. I don't have it in front of me. It'd be that first Monday in August.
Okay. Now you play week 0 at home, right?
We do against Whitesburg Christian.
Yes.
Now, you got any camps or anything that you're coming up to in the next? I know next week or so. Well, the second week in July, after everybody gets back from vacation. No, Spring Garden's having a camp. They're hosting a camp the 13th. They having Asheville and Raglan and some players come. Then there's a camp at Piedmont. So what do y'all got going on?
I tell you what, we're in the middle of July, of course, I spent a long time at Douglas, and the head coach there was defensive coordinator for me, and they're running the wing tee as well. So we're actually going to hook up with him, and he's asked me to come up there and do a wing tee camp. So we're going to.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah, we're going to go at each other a little bit, and he's going to have his coaches there. And, it'll be like being it'll feel like I'm 26 again as an assistant coach working a wing tee camp. So it'll be fun stepping away from being a head coach, getting to actually coach some detail position stuff. So it'll.
Now y'all are having a team camp too, right?
We are. We do like a bonding camp right before the season actually kicks off, and it's really more or less to, get away from mom and daddy and spend some time with each other and talk about the importance and our goals coming up for the season, and it really springboards us into starting the actual season. So we'll go across the state line there and pitch a tent and make them rough it, and us over there in Camp Hamby in Chattooga County.
Yeah,
so
Camp Hamby.
It's something I've done this for ever since I've been a head coach. I did it at my other two schools, and it's always a good thing.
We did it at Douglas. You remember that year?
Yeah, it's pretty rough. That was when I was young and dumb, I guess, right? It was pretty rough then, wasn't it?
We got up at 4 o'clock, and I finally laid down and got still, and it felt real good. I was fixing to go to sleep, and somebody goes, "Man, it's 3:50 in the morning." And I'm like, "When do we get up?" He goes, "At 4."
God.
It was awful.
I think we were pushing cars at midnight, weren't we? Didn't we do that?
About 4:30 in the morning, wasn't it?
My God, man. I
was telling Matt that we lost a former player that we coached. You coached him personally.
I did.
Tell us about Jack. I mean, he was pretty talented, wasn't he?
He was an outstanding football player, a lot of natural ability, and I got to coach him one-on-one. I was the quarterback's coach, so it was a tragic thing, but always enjoyed being around Jack, and our prayers go out to him and his family.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. Well, thank you, Coach, and I'll holler at you after a while.
All right.
Yes, sir. Please do. Go take care.
All right. See you, buddy.
See you, man.
See you.
Well, that
worked out good. He's always a good call-in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bo's a big fan of Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Just he's getting down
there.
All
the coaches around here
and introduced to him. He don't know all the coaches in the area. And, we went over there and met some of the coaches. And he'd met Coach Howard before. And he's gone over to center. He's met Coach Kelly, talked with him a little. And just taking him over there that day, both think he's just crazy about it. His energy and his story and just kind of how he carries himself. And I said, everybody likes Brian. Brian's a good one. We got a good group of coaches, county coaches, which we always have, But Coach Heath has got to know them a little better over there, and I've got to know him a little better and go over and spend a little time with them. And they got a good squad coming back, about a 10 or 12 class, senior class over there, and we're fixing to get into that and start talking about some local stuff coming in. We're going to talk about our top 25 picks for the day. See who we got in our top 25, and we're going to kick around the NBA East and West. The Suns is playing, and the Hawks are tied up right now. We're just going to talk about that a little bit. And there's some familiarity in college baseball right now in the World Series.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I'm not a big baseball guy, but tell me what's going on.
The teams that are going into that right now, we'll kick that off probably around the end. And Todd's got a special spot he's going to do for. We're going to talk about Mike Leach. Is this his year? Is he gonna be able to succeed and make a spot in the SEC? So,
I'll read the article to y'all.
Yeah, we'll see what y'all think about it. Now, we can't get away from here, Dean. We got to thank our sponsors, of course, as always. We want to thank who we got on first. Warrior Gym, Jonathan Kim. They've been hanging around with us forever and ever. And of course, Kevin's Lawn and Landscaping. Kevin's been there doing it. He's working really hard right now. Scott Lloyd's Legal Service over there in town. I'll go by there and like to visit him some. And of course, JR and April McKenzie. If it wasn't for these guys, we couldn't do what we do. There's no way, we could do what we do because we use that to give back and and try to, and CNC shirts, Christie, Chancellor.
Yeah.
These are, if y'all can see these, it's on this side. These are some of our newer shirts here. If you can see them, Todd's got on the white one, I got on the red one, and this is what she's been making for us, and we appreciate her too. Go over there on. She's got a Facebook page. It's CNC Closet.
Christy Barrett's her name.
Yeah. Her boy plays.
Yeah, he played up at Chattooga. Good boy.
He's going to the high school this year, right? Yeah. So we went to school with her. She was in my class, known her forever and ever. So shout out to Christy. If you need shirts and stuff like that, go around her page and look her up. She does fantastic stuff. It's not the press-on material stuff. These are kind of, I guess, inked in the shirt. I don't know what you call it exactly, but
right.
We appreciate her. So without further ado, Dean,
what do you want to talk about these?
What are you going to do first? Yeah, our local stuff.
We'll talk about local stuff first, and
local returners.
Local returners. Okay, we did Gillsville. Well, we'll go back through that again. We just talked to Coach Knapp. Gillsville went 5-3 last year. 5-5 technically, but they had 2 games that they didn't get to play.
Yep.
So, but they lost them.
Right.
By forfeit. But we had him on the show, Michael Reynolds. He's probably got the best stats as far as anybody coming back. 85 tackles, had over 300 yards rushing. He's a nice young man. He'll be the linebacker and probably one of the fullback. Briley Mitchell, we all know Big Briley. He's already gone to some camps, right? UAB?
Yeah.
He made over 60 tackles. And also, as he started, Coach said this will be his 4th year. A lot of experience.
Yeah, that always helps when you got a lot of experience, especially at a small school.
Right.
Like your Gillsvilles and Cedar Bluffs, and it makes a difference.
Well, and you also have Keelan Higgins. We mentioned him. He starts on D, and he's actually going to run the ball this year. Keelan has some big play potential. That's the 3 I'm highlighting for Gillsville. Of course, they got others. They got Leighton Keith, Xander Watts. Coach mentioned him earlier, the seniors. The other 3.
Hunter Penny,
yes.
Jacob Gordon. We hope he's going to come back out and be able to play.
And Michael Reynolds, that was the 5 senior.
He had a car accident back some time ago, and we hope Jacob's doing good and back in there working out.
He's one of those 5 seniors, and we hope the best for Gillsville this year. That injury bug got them last year. They were having a very good year.
Yeah, they had injuries.
They finished on a good note.
And COVID.
Yes, COVID and injuries.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's move on from Gillsville. Good luck to Coach Knapp and him to Cedar Bluff.
Yeah, Coach Allen Beckett, be his first year over there at Cedar Bluff.
5-5 last year. I thought, without getting great, we'll highlight the players here in a second, but the last 3 ball games, they played very well. They beat Appalachian. Was it Appalachian? Down there. And then they beat Sandrock by 1, but had a big lead. And played Hubbardsville very well.
Should have won that game.
Hubbardsville had some good.
We had our opportunities. We missed some opportunities to take shots on some things, but you can't go back, can't cry over spilt milk. At the end of that game, there was a pass interference on the last play, but those guys wasn't calling it. But
well, Cedar Bluff returns a lot. Now they lost most of their linemen.
Yeah.
And lost 1 skill guy. But
lost your left tackle, Corey.
Yeah.
Left guard, Jacob Stowe.
And right tackle, Mark.
Marcus, right tackle, and linebacker, Marcus.
And
defensive end,
Corey.
And then Stowe played up on the front, too, at nose tackle some. And so
you lost 8 starters.
And, of course, Ombre running around back there making plays, just doing whatever, It's going to be a big loss. You lose a great skill guy.
Right.
And up front, so... But with Burleson coming back at the helm, this will be his 2nd year starting.
Yeah.
And you got Nick Clifton in the backfield. And, of course, Bucky's going to be around. And you're going to have Preston.
Right.
He's going to be around, which he led in tackles last year alongside Marcus up there as a linebacker.
Yeah.
Played beside him.
And 93 tackles.
And Burleson, Jacob on defense had,
6 picks. Well, here's the stats. Burleson threw for 1,000 yards, rushed for 400. 6 interceptions, and me and Matt were very impressed with his defensive back skills. Anytime anybody threw deep, he seemed to pick it, did he not? Or knock it down.
Yes, every time they had something going on. Every time we're talking about Cedar Bluff right here. If you're just joining in with us, we're covering some local stuff. And he only started 5 games. Jacob Burleson on defense.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, 5 games.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
He had all those 6 interceptions in the last 4 or 5 ball games.
Yeah.
Preston Burt, 90 tackles, had over 400 yards rushing. Actually had 93 tackles. Nick Clifton had 700 yards rushing and 70 tackles. And, of course, obviously we cannot forget Bucky Leach, over 500 yards of offense. Plus, he's the return man, and he starts on defense. So he's a big – and he made a lot of big plays.
Yeah, I remember some special teams plays that probably shouldn't have worked out, and then it wound up he made them work out. Just kind of it's just ability to make a play happen.
Big play guy for sure.
Now some of the other seniors, I think, I'll miss some of them. I know Artie's a senior, and Dawson Wheeler, returning center, he'll be snapping the ball. He's a senior, and Deschler, he'll be coming back. He played some corner or something, he's never really played football.
Right.
Like Artie. I mean, we got some kids that's never really played football. They just want to come out there and play. So
exactly. But we'll get more into everybody but we'll get the ones we know. But as the season gets closer, we'll highlight every position and who's going to start and everything.
We're going to do probably a senior night. We'll do a show where we'll just talk about the seniors.
Just the seniors.
Yeah.
All right, Spring Garden, Matt. We know the 2 coming back. Cooper Austin, Chaz Pope. I mean, big-time players. They were instrumental in that 12-1 season last year. Austin had 800 yards receiving, 7 interceptions. Pope had 6 interceptions, and he missed 4 games.
I know.
He missed 4, and he hits like a truck.
Yeah.
He also got Landon Goins. Andrew Floyd made over 80 tackles. So that's 4. That's the 4 we're highlighting here today.
And just imagine getting all these guys back.
Yeah.
And getting them healthy.
Oh, yeah.
And get it all together.
They lost a lot. Of course, they lost to Kirks and Luke Welsh.
Yeah, Luke's that's a tough miss. He's an all-state linebacker and running back.
Yeah, running back. So you don't replace that easy.
That's hard to.
And I would say, just looking at it, that definitely Pope and Austin and some of the other guys we've mentioned so far, Michael Reynolds, Bradley Mitchell, all these guys are the top. I guess you can call this our top 20 players coming into the county.
Now, Spring Garden hosted a tournament camp the 13th. We mentioned earlier, Coach Knapp called in. They got Asheville, Raglan, and Gaston coming, and then they'll be on to Piedmont to a camp the 23rd.
Okay. Good deal.
That's the Spring Garden. Coach Howard talked to him a little bit today.
To see who their quarterback's going to be. It's going to be one of the Popes or Austin, I would think. And, they got a running back and Floyd back, but these are 3 of the top players definitely in the county, and Landon Goins, too. We can't forget about him. He missed some time last year.
Yeah.
Very good punter.
Yep.
And obviously a good defensive player and lineman.
Yeah.
Austin led the county in receiving. And I'm sure interceptions, too, with 7.
Yeah, probably so.
All right, now let's move on to Sandrock. I don't know if you knew this, but Sandrock went 3-7 last year, but 3-5 on the field, right?
Yes.
2 of their games were lost to forfeits. But Ace Ashley, 1,500 yards passing, led the county in passing.
That's all their seniors here. But
that's pretty good.
They got a good group of seniors.
Yeah, they do.
You got several number of kids coming back.
Olin Pruitt.
To add to a team that just COVID kind of hit them over there, and then they had to forfeit a game here, there, and they missed some stuff. But a lot of their stuff, you look over here, see a lot of these returners, Dean. You got
they play both ways, yeah.
Well, you got a lot of linemen coming back. See,
yeah,
and I like that. If you got a lot of linemen coming back, and we already know the little tailback.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
he's good. Well, you got a quarterback that's thrown for 190 yards a game.
So you got a good quarterback coming back, your tailback's coming back, and you got a lot of these offensive linemen. That spells a recipe for success in 1-2. Well, any football.
Well, you got like you say, you got your leading receiver, your top 2.
Yeah.
In Cornejo, Jacob, and Olin Pruitt.
OP had 400 or 500 yards last year.
400 something, and Jacob had 700 offense, and you got your quarterback back. There's not too many people that has their running back, best receiver, and quarterback back do bad.
Most coaches, I would say, they ought to be excited about the.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's a good opportunity.
I think they're going to do a lot better than 3.
They're going to be good up front. And I think they can throw the ball, throw it and catch it.
Yeah,
and Cordejo, he's going to catch the ball in the backfield too.
Had 300 yards receiving.
Okay.
And 350 rushing.
So that Sandrock, they're going to put something together this year.
I think they're going to be very good this year.
Yeah.
All right, and the last bunch we're going to profile is Cherokee County Warriors. Went 7-4 last year. Now, they have the leading rusher. First off, let's say they have the fastest player in the county in Whit Johnson.
He ran a 4.4 at Jacksonville at the camp last week.
Did he? He ran a 4.52 down at Auburn. So he got under 4.5.
Yeah, 4.44.
Wow. So 515 yards receiving. He had an 87-yard touchdown catch, Matt. 2 punt returns for touchdowns. And run an interception back 99 yards. So he's got big playability. An 87-yard touchdown and a 99-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And we watched him play against Piedmont. And I mean, he's 20 yards up the field. As soon as he catches it, you better cover him. I'm talking about on kickoffs. He runs back kickoff. So he's got 15 or 20 yards just like that.
Yep.
And it's no telling what he averaged per kick return. But I have no doubt that he's one of the top players in the county. And also Damian Ramsey. You can't take nothing away from him. 1,200 yards rushing.
Plays both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I can't get his defensive stats.
Yeah, we've looked. Yeah, I've looked and tried to get some.
But now, did he play inside linebacker most of the time?
Yeah, that Hanley game, he was sticking.
Meadows.
He was sticking him, and he'd get up and kind of limp off and walk aside and shake his head, and they stopped him a few times there, made some good stops, and then they'd turn around and get the ball back, and he'd run the ball.
That's just something you don't see much. You don't see somebody being a 1,200-yard rusher in 4A ball and then starting it inside linebacker.
Probably has. I don't even know.
I'm going to guess he made 6 a game, 65, 70 tackles.
I was going to say, 70 or 80 tackles.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
At least.
Yeah. Walker Pruitt had 72 tackles or 2 picks, and we talked about Whit on his punt return. He got a sophomore that I run to his dad this morning at McDonald's. I went by and got me some oatmeal before I went to the gym, and Lance Martin, truck driver, hope you're being safe out there, driver. It was good to see you this morning. His son Cooper probably play a little tight end for center. He's young, big kid. Gosh, he's taller than me. If he ain't, it's real close.
Right.
His daddy's. He was standing behind me when I was backing up from the counter. He's about 6'10". We call him country. So when you back up and you run into a guy that's 6'10", I mean, I just nearly fell down.
Is he bigger than Big Mike?
Yeah, they're similar, very similar.
Or froze up on mine, but not that one. That's what matters, right?
No, it looks fine. It's just the phone or something.
Okay.
But I've run into him this morning. It's good to see him. So Cooper, he's a 10th grader, is coming back out there. And, of course, Walker and the other seniors, Whit and Daniel and Jay. And, of course, Braden. Chandler, I didn't know he was a senior. I talked to Tori,
That's Tori's boy?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I thought he was so, man, these kids have grown up fast and spent some time with them weight room. Todd, he's really strong.
Oh, man, they look like brutes over there. School.
I can't believe how he's grown so much, Man, he's grown a lot, but they're working out over there hard. And
oh, yeah, they really are pushing.
It's like 12 seniors.
Well, you got got Jack Amos, Caleb Malone.
Yeah.
Malachi Horton.
Yeah.
So all these guys touch the ball, skill-type players.
Yeah.
Now, they lost, Connor Elrod, lost Isaac Hunter, of course, Slade, and who else did they lose?
Had a lineman.
Had that lineman.
Went and played somewhere.
Yeah. And then, of course, their quarterback's back.
Cade Hopper.
Yeah, I mean, I look for him.
And he got to play a little bit last year, so,
I look for every school in the county to do well this year.
Yeah, I do too.
And the only reason
we're not being homers, which we can be. It's our show. This shirt does have our name on it. So
I think that
say Todd on there.
And don't take this wrong, Spring Garden people. They might be the only team that don't get better. I mean, they went 12-1. You can't improve on 12-1.
Yeah, they know. Coach Trider knows what you mean. This is the Cedar Bluff show anyway. That's what he said.
Right.
Thanks for having me on the Cedar Bluff show.
But they may equal what they did, but it'd be hard for them to be much of an improvement.
And we're just talking about improvement from last year's record.
And I see everybody improving.
Yeah, I do too.
I do. All 4 teams.
Yeah, because they're bringing back some. Now, Cedar Bluff, Coach Beckett being a new coach, and we're a little harder on them because that's where we went to school and that's where we all played. Mine played out there, and not having returning linemen, it's going to be hard. I think defensively they may be okay. The skills are going to be all right. I mean, with Nick and Artie.
Right.
So out there and Bucky and Jacob playing back, cutting off the back door down there. But You got to be able to move the ball.
Yeah. Hopefully they got the, maybe they can just outrun who they're playing. You know what I'm saying? In 1A, you can get away with it a little more.
You can, than you could with like center with 4A.
Yeah.
And that schedule they have.
That's the only thing that I think is going to hurt them.
They got a tough schedule.
And it may not hurt them at all, but if anything hurts them, I think it'll be that schedule. You got Anniston and Hanley on that schedule, right? Munford, Jacksonville. That's a tough schedule.
Man, that's tough.
Piedmont.
That's not a easy game for them, but it's tough. I don't know what you can say.
No,
that's hard.
They do have a very tough schedule.
If you win all them,
you're for real.
You're real. There's no doubt they're ready.
What's the 5 we highlighted? Jacksonville, Anniston, Hanley, Piedmont, and Munford. Yeah. That's 5 tough games. You can be a good team and drop all 5 of them.
Yeah.
You could be a good team. And I in no way think they will.
No,
I'm just saying I think you could be a very good team and drop.
Yep. Yeah. And then those teams are bringing back players too.
Yeah.
It's big schools. Those bigger schools, you just kind of shuffle in other players.
Now, Center did beat Anniston and Munford last year.
Yep.
And the only one they barely lost to Jacksonville. Hanley won the state championship.
That's okay.
And Piedmont went to the semifinals.
Yeah, lost over there up on the mountain that night.
Right.
What a great game that was. Excuse us, man. That was a barn burner for real.
Well, Matt, that's our high school wrap up. And that's who we think the top players is. You never know who will come about. But highlighting some key players on each team.
Yeah, give some attention to our local teams here, and we appreciate everybody. And don't forget now, for you guys listening on the podcast, we're on Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public, Dean. So any of those avenues, if you're watching some of this and you have to cut it off, and if you want to pick it up later at a podcast, you can pick it up on any of those places. And again, we do thank our audience from Spotify. We thank you YouTube people that tune in and watch us some. We get a little traction over there. Just trying to put out there as many places as we can to offer us where. Wow, you're gonna get that every week.
Okay.
He is
over in Spring Garden too.
Yeah, that's where it always happens.
Yeah. Spring Garden's not the. We love Spring Garden.
Yeah, their service ain't got no service.
But they don't have the best phone service.
But anyway, wherever if you want to check us up later on the podcast, if you can't get us, you can go back and listen at any of those places.
Right.
So, Dean, what are we gonna do now?
Well, go ahead.
Well, that's it. I appreciate you. We're gonna cut this.
We're moving on to college football?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, go ahead there, buddy.
All right, let's say, let me just say, for instance, we just want to do our top 25.
Mine and his.
This is
based. We're not experts. It's just our top 25.
Well, we can be. It's our show. We can say we're experts.
Yeah, we are. He ain't gonna get no better.
Right.
Todd McShay and them don't have nothing on us.
No, because this is Matt and Todd Shaw.
Yeah.
And it's Matt and Todd
brothers,
Shaw.
Twin brothers.
Yeah. That was a mistaken thing, and that's a funny story.
Yeah.
I go in to talk to somebody, and I told him who he was, and he said
he heard Shaw.
Matt and Todd Shaw. Who's Matt and Todd Shaw? I said, no, Matt and Todd Shaw. I'm here to see, talk to this guy here. Oh, okay. All right.
And you can combine that into one name, like Todd Shaw. I mean, that's the last name.
I'm Matt Todd Shaw. He's Todd Shaw.
yeah. Matt and Todd Shaw.
But this is just loosely based off of, some new AP polls that's coming around. USA Today and other 500 other sports places that put out a top 25.
There's a million of them.
So this is ours. We'll start from the bottom, from 25. I've put Arkansas in at 25. I think they're worth mentioning it. They had a pretty good season last year with an all-conference schedule. I mean, come on. What are you going to do? So they're bringing back a lot of players. Defensively, I think they're going to be sound.
They're not going to have that tough schedule. I mean, they do got a tough schedule, but not like last year.
No, coach is going to get his feet under him this year, and
they're probably the most improved team in the conference, or close to it, I would think. Yeah. I'm not going to say they were the most improved because I don't want to say something and then somebody come back and say, well, somebody was 2-8 and then they went 8-4 last year. I don't know, but they were very much improved because they didn't win a game the year before.
Yeah.
And I got them at 25 also.
Yeah. Wisconsin, we're going to bring them in right there in towards the bottom. They lost some key players. I don't know who all they're going to be bringing back.
Mm-hmm.
It could be very interesting to see how that kind of turns out. Let's see. Who you got?
For 24?
Yeah.
I have got Coastal Carolina 24.
I like Coastal Carolina. They were very, very, very much. I mean, they were hanging around in there. Like, I mean.
Well, the only game they lost last year was to Liberty in the bowl game that I didn't watch.
Well, they were talking about, man, that was the greatest game ever.
I know, and I
was calling him. I was like, you need to turn it over there. This is going to be epic.
I told my uncle, and he's like, no, I don't want to fool with it.
It was great, and they're going to bring back, a lot of kids too. There you are. They got the quarterback Grayson McCall, 2,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, 570 rushing. So
wow,
to add that to the returning talent, and then from the defense, only allowed 20 points a game. So
pretty good. But you got a bunch of starters coming back.
Yeah. I got Oregon coming in at 23.
All right.
And
I've got Okie State at 23. But talk to it. I mean, Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State, they're always decent. But what has Oregon got coming back?
Oregon, well, I think everybody.
Everybody. We like their coach, Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, they just went blank.
What was that?
Yeah, it's all blank.
Oh, scores. All right, well, we can go by this.
All right, Oregon next. I got Indiana coming in at 22.
22, I've got Louisiana Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, they're going to be making
20 starters coming back.
Yeah.
Indiana's got their quarterback back, too.
Coach Napier at Louisiana has done a great job. They're going to play Texas September 4th, Dean. So
I think that might be an interesting
game.
game.
Be a good shootout to see how
I'm
that kind
going
of
to
starts.
go on, and I like Sark and I like Texas, but don't be shocked if there's an upset right there.
Let's see. What was I going to say? Okay, on Wisconsin, quarterback Graham Mertz. We should also expect Wisconsin to again have one of the nation's top defenses. They only allowed 17.4 points. So that's why we had them in the top 25 at all.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I'll go on to
22.
22 is Indiana for me.
No, 21.
21, Oklahoma State.
All right, I had them at 23. I have LSU at 21. LSU returned everybody. Played a lot better towards the end of the year last year.
Yeah, they might have a future starter quarterback, Max Johnson, who threw for 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns and interceptions over 6 games during his freshman year of 2020. So we'll see if he can get developed and how he'll wind up turning out. I got Coastal Carolina at 20.
All right, I got Penn State at 20.
19, Louisiana Raging Cajuns. We've talked about them a little bit.
I've got Indiana at 19.
All right, next we're going to do Penn State. So I got Penn State at 18, the nightmare and historic 0-5 start ultimately doomed the Nifty Lions. However, they did win their final 4 games, and they do have Clifford, 4,700 passing, 41 touchdowns.
He's been there. How many yards passing?
4,700.
He's passed for 4,700 career yards. You don't do that just playing in the backyard.
Then,
you got to be pretty good.
Dotson's had 52 receptions, 885 for 8 touchdowns. Might end up hearing to be the star on the offense for this season for Penn State. Number 17, I got LSU.
Well, I got 18. I had Ole Miss. 17, I had Wisconsin. I just think Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss has a high-powered offense.
I believe so, too.
He's good. So I got them at 18, Wisconsin at 17. What about 16? I got Iowa at 16.
Okay, I got USC at 16.
USC.
Now, USC did lose some players. They lost 2 of their starting running backs, but on throughout the year, they come back and wound up getting 2 other of the top running backs from somebody else. Yeah, so landing prize defense and recruit Corey Foreman should keep the Trojans defense almost immediately. He's going to be somebody to look out for. Slavis had 5,400 career passing, 47 touchdowns, 16 picks, and Drake Landon, 33 receptions, 502. So they return to make up USC, or to be the favorite to win the Pac-12 this year, Dean.
Wow, USC. I'll talk about that later, but I'm still going to put Oregon over them. But they're close. They're close. They're about like Oklahoma and Iowa State in that conference they're in. All right, 15. I've got the Texas Longhorns.
Well, with Sark starting, new job out there, he's a great play caller. They're definitely going to have some players. I mean, they lost a quarterback. Of course, that's going to hurt.
Right.
They got a new quarterback, so we'll kind of see how it pans out. But if anybody can do it, I don't know why it couldn't be
Sark,
him.
he seems like he's got his act together and is doing a great job. Who'd you have at 15?
15, I got Iowa.
Iowa Hawkeyes. Okay,
Yeah.
I had him at 16.
They're going to be favored to kind of be hanging around in there in some of these for the conference up there.
Yeah.
They bring back a lot of players. It was said defensively, if they can kind of tighten up on the defense, as you're going to hear from probably most of these, looks like they had quarterback Spencer Paratus, 1,500 yards passing, running back Goodson, which we liked him to be back. The bigger plus with Iowa is the expected returning defensive lineman Zach Van Vackelberg. 3.5 sacks a game, 8.5 tackles from the unit that gave up only 16 points a game average.
Iowa's usually got a good program. I mean, I know they're not ever in the Final Four, but you don't hang your head when you better not go looking ahead when you go play Iowa. They'll upset you. All right, Matt, 14. I got the Florida Gators.
Well,
sorry, they lost. 14. They lost a lot. They lost Pitts. They lost their quarterback.
Everybody. I mean, they're going to be lucky to be in top 10.
I don't think. What do you got? You don't have them in the top 10, do you?
No.
I don't have them. I can't put them in the top 10. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because Mullen's a great coach. And
King, the quarterback at Miami, that's who I got at 14. Yeah, Miami. Bama's going to kick off the season with them. While Miami has got enough talent to contend in the ACC, it must find a way to clamp down defensively after laying 41 or more points 3 times and an average of 174 rushing yards.
See, and
that's the problem.
Barry, I hope you're not watching this, Barry Rice. I know you're a big Miami fan. Miami gave up 778 yards against North Carolina.
Can't do that.
You know, you can't do that. I mean, the most in the Saban era that Alabama's give up is 647, and that was to Ole Miss, and they beat them 63-48. Miami gave up 778 yards. Now, I will say this: I think they had a lot of players out, COVID related and everything.
Yeah,
I think they had several players out.
They did.
All right, I had Miami at 13. We're just talking about them. So who'd you have at 13?
13, I got Ole Miss. You had them up a little higher.
Yeah.
After a rough start, Kiffin's 2020 group looks like they finished up 5-5. But Corral, 3,300 passing yards, about 30 touchdowns. The key to the Rebels will be how much can they improve defensively from allowing average of 38 points for the past season.
Well, I know their defense isn't.
Have you noticed a trend here? Like everything is reviewed as, but if they tighten up on defense, they'll do a little bit better. It's because the offensive guys has been so good for the past few years.
We'll probably see a change in the guard at some point.
This year, I'm going to tell you, there is a lot of these teams, the ones that we're just mentioning, we're just, about the top 10, they got a lot of quarterbacks coming back.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of quarterbacks are coming back.
Yeah.
A lot of schools.
They are.
Because the draft's going to be loaded with quarterbacks this year.
Well, who'd you have at 12?
12, I got the Gators.
Gators. I got the Texas A&M Aggies. I'm going to put them a little bit ahead of the Gators. They got their running back Spiller. And they got a lot of players back. They did lose Mon, though. Mon was a good quarterback. But I don't know. Who do you think's better, Jimbo Fisher or Dan Mullen? Who's a better coach? I mean, they're close.
Yeah, that's a good – I don't know.
I don't know who you give the edge to there. But I'm going to give it to Fisher this year and put them up 2 spots ahead of them.
Spiller had 1,000 yards.
Oh, he's a stud.
9 touchdowns. The question is on the offensive line – will surface, but with the defense could still be stout. So that's again the question. Because some of these places have A&M ranked up in the top 4 or 5.
I just don't understand that. I mean, look, guys, they play Alabama, they play LSU, they play Arkansas, they play Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Some people have them ranked high. Texas A&M has a very tough schedule, very tough, and that's just in the West. I don't know who they play outside of the conference. I'm talking about on the east side.
Just base it on who they're bringing back. Mm-hmm. I just do it by who they're bringing back. I don't really look at their schedule a whole lot because you can't tell who they're going to win and lose yet anyway. So I just base it loosely on who they got back.
I mean, I think they're a 9-3, 8-4 team. Me personally, maybe at best 10-2. I think the best team we've seen out of A&M since we've been watching football was last year. To me.
Yeah.
Now, obviously they were pretty good when Manziel was there, but he was very good.
Yeah.
The team was too. But I don't think we've ever seen a better Texas A&M team than we saw last year.
Besides when Bear Bryant was there.
Yeah, they did pretty good one year there. And all right, number 11, I got USC Trojans.
I got Texas Longhorns, and at 10, I got North Carolina. Talking about Coach Brown.
Yeah.
We're high on them, man.
Very high on
we like North Carolina. They're going to bring back a large group of talent. Their quarterback.
Yeah. Sam Howell, he's good.
7,200 passing yards, 1,600 career touchdowns. If Carolina defensive, if they can expect to be serious contender for the ACC title, it needs to be better than the group that allowed more than 40 points a game last year.
North Carolina averaged 40 points a game last year?
Giving up.
Oh, okay.
They're giving up a lot of points. So, Coach Brown can lock the defense down.
They'll be pretty good. I think they got a good squad. I think he's actually doing well a little earlier than I thought he would. I thought it'd maybe be this year or the next before they hit their mark, but they're already pretty good. They're pretty good. We heard this. We heard this 2 years ago, that you better watch out for North Carolina because their day was coming.
Yeah.
And I think it's here. All right, number 10, I got Oregon Ducks.
10, I got, I had North Carolina. I got Notre Dame at 9.
I got the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Cincinnati Bengals.
At 9. No, Cincinnati Bengals pretty good. They got
now, Jack Conan from Wisconsin is coming to Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have a quarterback. So too does the expected returner, Kieran Williams. However, it will be interesting to see the performance of a defensive unit that prior to the ACC championship game and college football playoff semifinals allowed an average of 17.1 points. So
that's just not a lot of points, though. I mean, they act like that needs to improve. 17? 17's not a lot of points. We do think they have Williams is one of the best running backs in the country. And you don't even want to know where I've got him. So, but I'm showing them a lot of love.
Where are we at? Number 8?
No, not number 8. I had the Cincinnati Bearcats. Number 8.
I got Iowa State.
I've got Notre Dame at number 8. Wait, I've screwed up big time here. I mean, big time. What have I done? All right, go ahead. Golly,
Ohio State.
Iowa State ranked twice. That's how good they're going to be.
Iowa State, I got them at 8. The Cyclones are definitely going to be a part of your. They're going to be part of your top 10. They're going to be in there somewhere. Everybody that they've had, Matt Campbell is still coaching at Iowa State for right now, but he remains a hot commodity, even though aimed at because tried to get him in the NFL.
Yeah,
I think the Patriots tried to get him as a coordinator or something. Quarterback Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Dean's high on him. I like him too. He's a good player. His linebacker Mike Rose, who has recorded 251 tackles and 29 tackles for loss for 3 seasons.
How many?
Yeah, 251.
How many for loss?
29. And if Breece Hall had 1,500 rushing, 21 touchdowns, if he comes back, I don't know yet if he's still playing. The Cyclones should again challenge for the Big 12 title.
All right, let me look. Who's that number 7 right there?
A&M.
I've got somebody missing. I mean, I've actually got somebody off my list. And how does that even happen?
Who you got for 6?
I don't know. Let me look at this again. I'm sorry, man. All right, number 8, I had Notre Dame. Number 7, let me see who I have for that.
We'll just move on. Just keep moving
all
on.
Right, we don't. Okay, number 6, I got the Iowa State Cyclones. Where'd you have them?
Iowa State 8.
8.
I mean, with them coming back, I mean, what would you know?
Yeah.
Got a good coach. Knows how to call plays. Where were we at? 6 or 5?
We're there at 5.
I'm at 6.
Now. You're at 6.
Yes, I had Ohio State for 6.
Okay.
I don't want to put them in the top 5. I think they've lost too much.
They
do have a good coaching crew, I know. But they played half a season last year, and then they just got waxed. And you could tell they hadn't played a lot of football. They should have never been allowed to play anyway. That was all a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
Well,
anyway.
That's what somebody said about them, and I've got them at 5, but I'm very reluctant to have them at 5. That's what another guy was saying. He's like, these guys hadn't even played any ball.
Mm-mm.
And we're throwing them out here and saying they're going to be in the top 5 and 6. They lost half the players that played. Then the other half haven't played none.
Yeah.
So, I'm just not a.
I didn't like.
I got him at 5, but just because there's nobody else right now. All right, go ahead. Who you got at 5?
A&M. With Kellen Mond gone, Jimbo Fisher is still there. Isaac Spiller, Dean's got him up a little bit higher than I do. Mm-hmm. We've kind of talked about them. If they can put together a decent defense, they're going to be okay. And breaking in the top 4, I got Clemson.
I got the Georgia Bulldogs.
I got them at 4.
Okay, let me ask you something without getting deep into detail. Why do you have Clemson behind Georgia?
Well, I got them ranked
lower.
The loss of quarterback and the loss of defensive line. Mm-hmm. I just think it's too much for them to. 4 is a good spot.
4 is a great spot.
It's a good spot for them. And with DJ Ugalele, the quarterback, he's new. I know he played a little bit last year, but I'm just not sold on him. And, you know, Bo and Mark come on the show, and we talked about him a little bit, and they was kind of high on him.
Oh, yeah, big time.
But I just don't see it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be good enough up front to stop a lot of people. I think they're going to have to score a lot of points. I think they're going to need to be in the 35 to the 6 touchdown range to stay in football games. Yeah. So with that being said, they're going to have to score 6 or 7 touchdowns, and I don't know if he can. Because with their tailback leaving, you know.
Oh, yeah, they lost him too. You talking about ATN?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he caught more out of the backfield maybe than he ran.
Oh, man.
He was an all-over player. So, I don't know about Clemson. They say that's kind of what they're talking about. The Notre Dame game. It said, well, he'll have some quality talent surrounding him, while the defensive end, Miles Murphy, is slated to return following freshman season, where he recorded 4 sacks and 10.5 tackles for loss. So, the Murphy kid playing defensive end there at Clemson, he's going to be back to play some. But, I mean, Ugalele, he's got 780 yards. I mean, we don't know.
He hadn't played a lot. No. He did play against Notre Dame last year. But,
yeah,
I mean,
they turned not to be that good. I mean, they're better than they was.
Right. He's going to be thrown into the fire this year. We'll find out quick. It's one thing about it, Matt.
Now, you had Georgia.
I got Georgia at 4. You had Clemson at 4. I got Clemson at 3. You got Georgia at 3, right?
Yes. We just swapped on them. Maybe it's a bold choice for Georgia to be ranked up really high, considering over Clemson or Ohio State. However, the Bulldogs were 4-0. They do have the quarterback coming back. Zamir White, I like him.
We love him. Yeah.
He's going to be a huge pick.
I don't like Pickens being out.
Pickens, he may not play till the Florida game. We don't know.
I don't like him being out.
But with Lewis Kane, which he come back for 123 tackles at Georgia, and then Dean. Mm-hmm. You brother from another mother down there.
Yeah,
I mean these guys. So
yeah,
but their defensive backfield. That's why I don't. Some people have them at 2, or some places have them at 4 or 5. I think they're okay. But the letdown is with Georgia. It's always every year we do this. We do this every year.
Let's take them high.
Yeah, and they now win the first 4 or 5 games. Mm-hmm. But this year, fortunately for us fans, we're gonna find out quick.
Very quick.
Because they're got
Clemson, week 1.
So,
I may be completely wrong. I got Clemson edging them a little bit. We saw Josh Pate's going to make Clemson a 4-point favorite?
Yeah.
4-point favorite.
Clemson's probably going to come in a 3.5-point favorite from Vegas.
All right. So, Matt, I don't even know. We might not even need to tell who our 2 is. We might not get.
Well, this is the part that.
We'll explain.
Hope we still got people watching. And if we don't, if you're on Spotify or YouTube, again, we appreciate you guys for listening in or watching on YouTube.
Who's your number 2, man?
My number 2 is Alabama. Ah, God.
Cut them off. Cut them off.
What's he talking about? They don't know nothing. It's Alabama. They're winning it again.
I've got Alabama at number 2, too. Now, can we explain why?
If you want
lost everybody on offense.
You can go first. I mean, I think it's just pretty
Let's
simple.
see it, the offense. I mean, you lost.
And you have a new coordinator.
Jones, Harris, Smith.
Waddle. I mean,
lineman. You lost lineman.
You got a whole new look on offense. And O'Brien from Coosa Christian is, from Texas. So Coach O'Brien, he's come because you got a new coordinator. And I'm not high on Bryce Young. The ball pops out of his hand fast, but he's so small, you really got to have lanes for him to throw to. And if he ever gets one little hand up in his face, because he ain't even 6 foot tall, he likes to squirm and squirrel. And with the way defense is played now, like the Ole Misses and the Georgias and the LSUs, it's going to be hard to try to scramble around because the day of the big Dante Hightower linebacker days are over. They have been for about 5 years. Now you have these Mosley guys and these Dean guys. They run sideline to sideline. They run you down. Even some of the linemen on defense can do that now.
Right.
He's Kyler Murray 2.0.
Right.
He's going to be fun to watch. He's definitely going to scramble and have some rushing. He works really hard. They say he comes early and stays late. We have a strength guy that works down there, that we know.
Right.
And we're not nothing personal against Bryce. Just
no.
I ain't seen enough to sell them to be number one. As of for always, Alabama is the defending champs. They're not defending anything because you can't take that title. It's not like boxing when Holyfield and Tyson, you lose the belt back to the guy.
The title.
Back to them. They're not. So with that being said, just as Todd said, they lost everybody. So there's no reason to put them in. They're favored to be 2, and the only reason I didn't put them at 3 is because I'm not crazy enough about Clemson or Georgia to put Bama at 3 and to put Georgia at 2.
I think it's going to be an interesting year.
If Georgia had the better secondary, I may have put them at 2 and put Bama at 3, but their inexperience in the backfield at Georgia bothers me.
I don't know if I've ever saw somebody be preseason number 1, and maybe wrong, maybe proven wrong this year, without one skill player returning. Well, I mean, you got Mechie.
He's gonna be a dog, man.
Yeah, he's good.
Now Alabama's defense
is going to be awesome.
Solid.
They keep him in the top 5. I mean, I would think.
Absolutely.
And then offense may be great, but here's our point, guys. This is preseason.
We don't know.
As of right now, I can't put them at number 1 with all these question marks on offense. After week 1, they may be number 1.
Look at all these quarterbacks in Clemson. I mean, they're at 4. They're bringing in a new quarterback, which did get some playing time. A&M bringing back a new quarterback. I got them at 5. Ohio State bringing in a new quarterback. Got them at 6. Cincinnati, Ohio State, Iowa State, and Notre Dame, North Carolina. These guys, well, Notre Dame's not bringing back the same guy, but 4 out of 5 of these other teams are bringing all their quarterbacks back.
Well,
and the number 1 team is bringing back a quarterback that's going to be in the Heisman mention. Whether you want to agree with it or not, he's going to be in the mention for Heisman.
Well, now, if you want to get into specifics about, if you're going to rank teams on who's coming back at the skill positions, I mean, Oklahoma and Georgia are the best teams in the country.
So,
and there's our number 1.
That's your number 1.
Preseason.
This is the way too early, just because we wanted to talk about local guys first, and then we wanted to also not get off the show in 20 minutes. We wanted to do another 20 minutes, so we decided to do our own top 25. So Oklahoma said that is in terms of quality coming back. Oklahoma, which won its final 8 games of 2020, returns a ton of talent, starting with Q-back
Spencer Rattler,
3,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns, and the receiver Memes.
Oh man, he's tough.
Weiss, and combined for 74 receptions for 1,100 yards and 13 touchdowns in 2020. Of course, with the Sooners, it would depend on how well their defense performs. Same thing. We keep saying the same thing over and over.
Well, it's hurt them in the past.
They give up 17 points average in 7 contests. So,
that's not bad.
No, it's not. So if they can improve defensively, I'm just going to tell you, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again before we get off, and we got 2 other things we'll cover. This is Oklahoma's to lose this year.
Yeah. It's going to be a big week when they play Iowa State. Oklahoma, Iowa State, and Clemson and Georgia are going to be the 2 biggest games of the year early.
If Oklahoma's not in the title game, I would be very surprised. So, and with that being said, we'll say let's say something about the top 12. Since there's a talk of a 12-team playoff coming, our 12-team playoff would be Florida, Texas, North Carolina, Notre Dame, Iowa State, Cincinnati, Ohio State, A&M, Clemson, Georgia, Bama, Oklahoma. That would be, and all those teams are prominently good football programs, except for North Carolina and Iowa State and probably Cincinnati. But the rest of the teams are known to be good.
I think
good
North
programs.
Carolina makes that top 12.
I think so too. They could be 12.
North Carolina makes that top 12.
If they could be 12.
I think Oregon or USC also makes it. If they had it. They're not doing that this year, though, right?
No, it'd be, I guess, 2 more years.
Guys, North Carolina's a powerhouse now. Don't be surprised. They may win that conference. I doubt it.
They're gonna
they may.
They'll have to beat Clemson.
Yeah. and which they've nearly done. They nearly did it year before last, 21-20. So I'm impressed with Mac Brown. I think he does a good job.
They should have kept him. And the only reason they run him off because a bunch of politics and money because of Nebraska when they left. And they made this big Longhorn network, and Mac didn't like how everything was going. They wasn't being treated right, so
that was a mess then.
They run him off, which was terrible for the program.
Would you want? Do you want me to go ahead and talk about this? What you sent me, and analyze this?
Yes.
All right, Matt sent me this article, and this is for y'all to agree or disagree. All right, anonymous coach's question. If Mike Leach can be successful in the SEC, Mike Leach of Mississippi State came out swinging in 2020. Leach took his air raid offense from the Pac-12 to the SEC, and there were questions whether or not it would work. At first, they looked like it would be very good, but later on, as the year went on, it slowed down considerably, and many wondered if the SEC was too much for the air raid to transition. According to anonymous coaches, that means they're not going to. According to anonymous coaches, Nick Saban, speaking to Athlon magazine, Leach's system can work in the SEC. Well, I thought they just said it couldn't.
Well, an anonymous.
They're weighing in on if they think it can. All right.
Yeah.
No,
they don't think it can, and so
some of them don't. Some of them do, but there has to be modifications. The system can work, but it hasn't worked since Hal Mummy at Kentucky. One anonymous coach said, the question, will Mike Leach be open to evolving it? In other words, he's got to quit throwing 60 times a game and running at 12. It's just got to tweak it.
It was bad. We covered them, last year.
Yeah.
It's like 70 passes and 8 rushes.
I mean, people like their team. They say their defense is very good. They play hard. They bother you. But at the end of the day, the offense is just not too much. And so basically these other coaches are saying, no, the way he's running it now, they're basically saying, and that's what I'm saying, no, I don't think it'll ever work. If he tweaks it, modifies it, yes.
Yeah, what do y'all think?
What do you think?
Yeah, me personally, I could, if you don't change it some, they're going to figure it out, and they're just going to play cover 4 all night and then just rush 3 guys up on the line probably.
Yeah.
So it's going to just throw it all around all over the place. It's going to get knocked down a lot.
I don't know a lot about him. I'm taking it that they think that there's a good chance that he won't tweak it any. Is he hard-headed?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's just what I got. I don't know nothing about him.
Yeah.
But, modify's a broad word. What does that mean? How much do you modify it?
Well, the key to all the wins and titles are won where? Defense.
And they have a very good defense. Very good. Which is odd because usually teams like that do not have a good defense.
If they can score 40 a game and hold somebody to 39, I guess they win.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the way they play. I mean, that's his style. I just don't like it in the conference.
Yeah.
I never cared for Washington State or Texas Tech or watching them.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting.
It's an offense.
Yeah.
It's their strategy, and it's fine.
And it can work.
You don't have to like it either.
But those teams that you just named, how many 5-star corners and safeties played on those teams?
No, probably not many.
Okay. So I think y'all can kind of figure out what I'm getting at. So now you're going to play
they
LSU.
Don't get to look in practice.
LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, Florida.
Right.
Where D-backs,
you're talking about the teams they played.
Yes.
Yeah, not many. I mean, probably Oregon, maybe Washington,
how many
USC.
5-star? So you can throw the ball around all the place because the D-backs on other teams are not good enough to cover. Is what I'm saying. Where these teams out here are.
Play you man to man.
Yeah, they can just man up on you. So when you can man up on a receiver, guess what that causes inside for linebackers shooting gaps and stuff? It causes havoc and it makes the quarterback throw the ball really fast. So when you get in a hurry to throw the ball, guess what happens then? You throw interceptions.
Christmas. I mean, yeah.
Lord Christmas?
Yeah, you remember old Lloyd? Yeah, he's Lloyd Christmas. He's calling in.
That's Matt Todshaw's cousin.
Lloyd Christmas. What's Harry's last name? I can't remember. All right, but no.
What about no?
My question is, I don't think it'll. I still don't think it'll work.
If he changes it some and tweaks it, sure. I mean, he could evolve it.
The guys don't come at me and say, "Well, he did great this year," and then I find out he's running high. No, we're asking, can he be successful with what he does? I say no.
Yeah, I agree. Now, NBA, East and West finals. The Suns are up 3-1. Booker's he's scoring around 27 points. CP3, Crowder are all playing good. They play tomorrow at 8. Suns and the Clippers do. Now, what about the Hawks?
Hawks up 1-1. They won the first one barely and then got beat by 35. But, I watched that game. Milwaukee hit like 15 three-pointers. 10 in the first half.
They play.
You can't compete with that.
Here just in 30 minutes. So as soon as you tune off here, you watch the Hawks play the Milwaukee Bucks. And I don't know if Giannis is playing. I read somewhere he wasn't, then I read another one that he was. So
he probably is. They said that about James Harden. He played in both of those last 2 games.
Collins, Bogdanovich, key players of the game. Trey Young with averaging about 29. Looks like a game.
48 the other night.
Yeah. They play tonight in Atlanta. They're in Atlanta tonight.
There's some big-time scoring going on. I know Booker's had some 40-point games. Paul George has had some big games. Paul George is a little better than I thought he was. I always thought he was good, but he's pretty good.
Oh, no, he is. He's a ball player.
He seems like and I may be wrong, he seems like humble.
Yeah,
guy.
Yeah, you don't hear much about his Twitter page or nothing.
No, you don't ever hear anything. But
no.
He's got some game. And, of course, Young's a superstar. Giannis is a superstar. And Booker is a superstar.
Yeah.
So you got 4 superstars on these 4 teams. And I'll be honest, who do you think's going to win it? I think it's going to be Phoenix and Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Suns. I'm going to pick the Suns to win it. I think that may be too much for the Bucks, but we'll just have to see what happens.
And even though I love Devin Booker, for some reason, I'd love to see the Milwaukee Bucks bring that trophy home.
Yeah, they hadn't won it.
Anybody else feel like that?
They hadn't won it since.
Well, see, Phoenix hadn't won one either. Yeah. I'll be happy with either one of them.
When Charles was there, Michael and them.
Yeah.
It didn't.
I don't know if Phoenix has ever won one. I mean,
Milwaukee did the Bucks win it when
they won
Lou
when
Alcindor
was there.
Which is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for you young listeners.
Yeah.
Played for the Lakers with the Magic and the Showtime Lakers. So
yes, they did win it when he was there.
That's the only one I could think of.
It's pretty good. You lead 2 different.
And your high school.
And your college.
Never lost. It's a game. Like one is nearly his whole career.
He might have been dominant.
He was a good one, man. You couldn't stop him. We'll move into the last topic, College World Series. We mentioned about Vanderbilt. Dean is playing Mississippi State. What about that?
Is that for the championship?
Yeah.
Wow.
They play tomorrow at 6 o'clock on ESPN too.
Huh.
Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. So
is that game 3 or is that
that's
game
first
1?
game?
And it's best
of 3. Yep. So go Commodores and go Bulldogs. Either one wins will be good for our conference. It's definitely good attention for baseball. So any of you young guys that play baseball, if you can play baseball in this conference, don't think that you have to go to. Well, South Carolina is always known for baseball, but any of these conferences around here, if you can get in play with Alabama's, Auburn's, any of these, Arkansas had a fantastic run at. Florida's got a good baseball team.
Tennessee had a good
team. They had a good run at too. So the baseball is hot right here.
Right.
So any of you young guys, hey man, try to get on one of them teams around here.
Wow. Who are you pulling for? Vanderbilt or Mississippi State?
Mississippi State. I just always kind of like their baseball.
Vanderbilt's won one here lately, though.
Yeah, well, they got that pitcher. I knew I forget his name. He's money. I mean, this cat, he throws stink up there on the plate all night long.
How's Vanderbilt going to be in football? I know we're getting way off the subject, but
football,
be
no, they ain't going to be. They're academic. I mean,
I know, but somebody will come at you and say, "Well, they're academic, but they win it in baseball." That kind of gives you an idea of.
That's just what they focus on. What you get kids there to play with.
Yes, they get better recruits there for baseball.
Jay Johnson, 2-time College World Series coach from Arizona, is taking LSU head baseball coaching job. So LSU looking to change up their luck. And Coach Johnson's a great coach. I mean, you take Arizona to the World Series twice.
Now, we had one more thing to talk about, and you mentioned it, the Arizona State scandal. What is going on?
I don't know, yeah. Basically, from what I gathered from it, during COVID, you could not have anybody on campus, and they did.
So that was it?
That's it. No money.
Nothing major.
No. You can't have players on campus, so the assistants made
So they were working with them.
To come on campus and walk around, look around, tour the campus, and there was a security video of Coach Edwards guiding a couple of kids around the campus just looking at stuff. And because of COVID, you were supposed to have kids on campus, and nobody else done it except them. Yeah.
I don't see that.
So that's stupid. It's our show. We can say what, and it's our podcast or whatever, So
that's like
I think that's stupid.
I don't think that's a hanging offense.
No.
That's what.
You shouldn't have to forfeit games, or they're going to put them on probation. I think it's silly. I think we need to move on. I don't even want to get started. I'll get aggravated.
I watched The Sopranos the other day, and Silvio made a decision behind Tony's back. So Tony calls him. He says, "Come meet me in the basement." So I'm sure he's a little worried, and he just come right and asked him. He goes, "I know I did wrong." He goes, "This is a hanging offense."
Yeah. Are you going to kill me?
Yeah, basically.
I need to get my stuff together.
Tony was like, "Nah, just don't do it again."
But then he kills him later.
Oh, that was Christopher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did kill Christopher.
All right, guys. Well, you know what time it is. And as always, we appreciate you guys taking some time out of your Sunday to spend with us. Had a good show. Hit all the local stuff and hit our top 25 way too early. So y'all have a great week and keep your heads clear. No.
July 4th.
4th of July. We know people would be rather watching us than shoot fireworks.
Yeah, I mean,
but
who wouldn't?
I know, man.
Out on your pontoon, for real?
I know, man.
Just go home, watch us. We'll be home. We're going to take the 4th off. Well, we want to do something new.
Yeah, we'll be here. So. Well, that'll be some news on the page of the week. We'll see what more happens. This transfer portal stuff's getting crazy, so
if they do away with that.
Won't be long, Dean. We'll get through July. Coaches are going to start going on vacation. There's going to be some more camps as we start coming back from a lot of vacations. And all right.
That sounds great to me, man. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's been going well this summer,
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff, plenty of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, it's getting easier.
Well, we're getting a little better,
more
comfortable with our fans here. We appreciate everybody, all our sponsors and stuff, everybody. So, all right, y'all go put your feet up and go watch the Hawks. All right, y'all keep your heads clear and your heart full of God. We appreciate you. Y'all have a good evening.